Is Constance A. Dunn on the couch?
Hang on a second. Are you there? I see that you answered. Anything? But I can't hear you. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
I'm on the couch with Metin of S2K and one of the founders of Balkans magazine, street artist extraordinaire.
So in the beginning, everybody wants to tag everything. That's what you said.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
And did they tag everything that they could?
No.
No. So do you tag with permission of places, or you tag clandestine, like? So for example, if you see a wall, a beautiful empty wall of some tumbling down building and it's screaming at you, please paint me. Do you wait till it's dark and then you just go and paint it? Or do you ask somebody if you can do it?
Sometimes I just go and paint, but mostly we ask.
You ask for people, and they want you to. They
Mostly.
say okay.
Not always.
If they say no, do you do it anyway?
Yeah, sometimes. But if it's not like a historical place like museums or something like that.
What was the most inspiring place you painted?
Oh, I can't remember now. But it's not the main thing with the place. For me, it's more important to paint with people I like with best friends, and graffiti is not everything for me.
Yeah. Well, what is it for you? Why do you do it then?
It's a friendship. It's a real friendship thing. Mm-hmm. You have to trust people, you have to know people good, and
This was my first Skype recorded interview. Metin was calling me from Istanbul. And as you can tell, there were some problems with the connection.
When you have a big piece that you're doing, if you're doing a big wall, is it like a party?
Yeah.
Do you guys just go out there and have a party around the wall?
Yeah, sure.
Do you collaborate on the idea, or is it sort of like one person kind of does the artwork and everyone else just parties? Or do you all work together?
Well, mostly we work together. Yeah.
And you have a magazine now, right? Balkans magazine.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Maybe I don't know exactly, but it's from year and a half. And now I'm doing for this.
Yeah. And why, if graffiti is not everything to you, why are you putting out a publication about it?
Because in the Balkan countries there was nothing publishing. There was no book and magazines, and artists in Balkan countries need some support here. Because in Europe and America there are too much magazines and books, and there is nothing here. So I want to support them.
Why do you think graffiti art's important to the Balkans? I mean, there's certainly a lot of it, but some of it looks more like tagging and some of it looks more like actual pieces of artwork.
No, there are too much talented people, but no one knows them. This is the problem. That's why I'm doing the magazine. They are really, really good artists, but no one knows them.
Yeah.
They are not famous.
What will happen if they do get known? Do people make money off of this kind of thing?
No.
But what happens if they get known then? Like, do they just get things written about them? Or what's the advantage?
Well, they can get more invites for festivals or jams like in Europe or everywhere else. They can be more active than when they become famous. Not about the money, but they can paint more and more, because all people are working and trying to paint.
So tell me more about this festivals. I actually just saw a short video on a street art festival in Bangladesh, and it looked amazing, actually. I had no idea these existed until recently, but they've probably been going on for a while. Have you participated in any festivals yourself?
Too much, yeah.
Too much?
Yeah. Too much festivals in Bulgaria and Turkey and Macedonia and Serbia.
What happens at a street art festival? Like, what are the types of events people would go and see?
Well, as I said before, I go there to not paint only, to see my friends, because I see them maybe 1 or 2 times in a year, and this is very cool. We come together and paint and have fun.
Is there like a whole underground community of street artists, and this is how they travel, I don't know, around the world, sort of meeting up with each other at these festivals?
Yeah, there are a community. It's a big community.
Do you have any of these artists that you know personally who you admire a lot?
There are too much.
Too many? Do you off the top of your head, if you had to just name one right now, if you had to, absolutely.
No, I don't want to give some names. There are too many because they first of all they are friends.
Where did you live in Bulgaria most of your life? Varna, right?
Yeah, one.
Where do you live now?
In Istanbul.
You live in Istanbul now. Is there a piece of street art in Istanbul that makes you stop and stare every time? Have you found one?
Oh, not much because Istanbul is a real big city and also too much writers, too much artists here.
Yeah, there's a lot. What about Varna?
So
can you think of one?
So when you
Can you think of one in Varna
No.
that was amazing that you stopped and looked at every time?
yeah, most of my pieces.
Have you been to Belgrade?
Yeah, one time.
Okay. Do you remember any of the street art from here?
No, because I was there 3 days and all day we were painting at some walls.
Which walls did you paint? Can you describe it for me?
There was some schools, but I don't remember the names.
In terms of street art, like, why do you think, in your opinion, do you think that street art sort of improves the look of the city?
Of course, yeah.
And why do you think that's the case?
It's so basic and you see more colorful stuff in the city. Not only gray walls, Yeah, it's like gray walls are so depressive and I don't know why people like this.
Do you think, what would you say to somebody, because I know there are people out there who look at graffiti and street art and they just see vandalism. How would you defend yourself?
There is vandalism and there will always be, I think. Because you cannot change some people,
What's the difference between vandalism and street art?
And now a musical interlude by Culture Shock. Cultureshock.com.
It's a tricky question, so take your time.
Yeah.
I mean, is it just an aesthetic thing? Like, one looks better, street art looks nicer, and vandalism's trashier? Or is it the intent?
I think the difference is the street artist is not doing it for vandalism, he's really doing it for art. But some people are really just want to destroy the place,
Do you think, why would someone want to destroy a place? Does that not come into play?
There are many kinds of people in the world,
Yeah. But I mean, even sometimes an artist, like maybe they're doing an interesting piece of artwork, but maybe somewhere inside of themselves they're also thinking it feels really good to destroy this wall.
Yeah. Sometimes, because most of graffiti artists are starting with vandalism. When they start, in first years they tag and paint everywhere, but in time. They understand that they want to have more time on the wall and more colorful pieces, and they need time, they need safety, and they are trying to make more legal walls.
Is that how you started?
Yeah. Like everyone.
Who put the paint can in your hand for the first time?
I don't remember, but first graffitis I ever seen was from Turbo from Istanbul. He was making he was working on a magazine which has some graffiti pages, and I was collecting this magazine for maybe 3 or 4 years, only for that page.
His name is Turbo, is that right?
Yeah.
So do you all have like code names, like names you use as graffiti artists?
Yes.
Did you do that in the beginning because it makes it safer for you to work? When does the next Balkans issue come out?
In September.
In September. What kind of things do people finding it? Or, I mean, who do you have writing for it?
In the third issue, I will have three interviews from different countries from Balkans, and many pictures from all over the world.
By the way, that's Culture Shock with a K. Kultur. Culture.
Do you miss Parma?
Yeah,
You do? It's a much smaller town, right?
smaller and quiet.
And that's better for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
There's been a lot of recent turmoil in Istanbul. Has it been uncomfortable to live there?
It's just a big city.
Yeah.
I think every big city has the same problems.
Yeah. Well, what about the protests recently? They've been all over the news. Do you?
Yeah, they still do it.
They're still doing it. Is it becoming annoying, or is it something you support?
I support them, but I don't know how it will be changed.
Yeah. Are you or any of your colleagues inspired a lot by politics when you make your street art? Do you use it sometimes to send messages to people?
No.
No? It's about just...
No, we don't mix it with graffiti.
Yeah. So it's for art only.
Yeah, for art, only for art. For ourselves only.
So tell me, you obviously didn't study street art in school.
Yeah, there's no school for it.
There's no school for it. Do you think there should be?
No.
But you learn it from your other older, more experienced people, right?
It's more becoming with time and practice.
So what did you study in school?
Graphic design.
Do you think there'll be a day when you stop painting?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think you'll be like 75 years old and still using a spray can to spray the walls?
For sure,
Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Do you think that in general street art has like a future?
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in the future? I mean, will it just get bigger and bigger and bigger, or do you think it'll become different somehow?
As I see in 10 years, it was not so popular, but now everybody knows it, everybody likes, and many companies use it, like some T-shirts, prints, or any kind of, for commercial stuff. They use it. And it's becoming very popular, really.
So, listeners, you may have noticed it sounds like Metin is talking to me from Mars with this feedback, which I couldn't get rid of. But I left it there because I don't want his words lost completely, so they're there. Sorry if it's annoying, that's it. It adds to the authenticity. But I do what I have to do to get the interview recorded in the same way he does what he has to do to paint a wall. So there's some comparison here.
Because Berlin is the place which graffiti born in Europe. Not in Europe, but in Europe.
Do you think there's some weird connection between... I mean, do you think it's because like these ex-communist blocs that are in East Berlin, for example, or the Balkans, are great for painting? Or is there a political reason why street art's so popular in these places?
I think it's not the reason.
Yeah. Is it just because the buildings are great for painting? They have these really flat surfaces?
I cannot say for the Western world, but maybe for Berlin, there was also many political writings on walls before years.
Yeah.
Also in Istanbul like that. Actually, in Istanbul, the political writing stops a lot.
What about, have you traveled to Western Europe and checked out their graffiti?
Not to Berlin, but I was been in Italy, in Austria, some places like that.
Do you notice anything different about the way people work in different countries?
No, it's just same passion, Yeah.
What do you think of street artists like Banksy, who made it big and they now have their own galleries and are making quite a bit of money off their work?
Well, it's good for him.
Yeah.